With the weight of my worries left behind me and the man I once was, I take the first steps as the new woman I am with pride. Although Jane's heels are uncomfortable to walk in, they are a metaphor for my freedom. Taking care to lift my skirt as I sit at my new desk outside my office. I sit upright, allowing my mind a moment to get to grips with all the sensations of my new body. I close my eyes and allow myself to hear my new heartbeat. I take in how Jane's clothes sit on my body. Then I remember the letter she said she left for me. I open her top drawer and find it on top with the words, "It's your life now," written in bold. I lift the letter and smile at it. Clearly, Jane thought she was going to get a better life. Little does she know how it's going to backfire. Before I can open it, she bursts out of my old office and screams my name. "Johnson! Get back in here!" I have to hold a smirk from my face as I look up at her, panting and sweating like a pig. She wanted this, not me. I'm still not even sure how she's done it. Yes, sir," I reply, getting to my feet and acting as soft and graceful as possible. She glares at me, knowing that I'm putting it on. Still walking awkwardly in her heels, I step past her back into the office, and I can tell she's watching my every step. I then hear her slam the door behind her. "What do you mean I need a lawyer?" she shouts, standing directly behind me. For once in my life, I actually feel pretty vulnerable. Although I feel young and sprightly, I feel feeble, and Jane seems to be losing it. Makes me wonder quiet what she had planned. "I don't know what you mean, Mr. Johnson," I reply, holding my hands together behind my back. Jane walks around in front of me, and she's got a smug grin on her face. "It's weird seeing my body controlled by someone else. Seems you're talking to our little role reversal quite well, aren't you?" she says, inches from my face. Jane begins to chuckle at me and becomes instantly more relaxed. "I was expecting you to freak out and start screaming about how unfair it is that I've stolen your body, but you aren't. That surprises me, but then I know you are a negotiator. I bet you've already decided this is how you get your life back. You're bluffing with this lawyer stuff, aren't you? You think that's going to make me trade our bodies back?" I say nothing. I only focus on the nose hairs protruding from her nose. "We aren't trading back, sweetheart, okay?" Jane says to me, lifting her hand to brush my cheek with the back of her fingers. She looks at me and smiles wide. "The silver lining for you is that you're now a very sexy woman. Maybe I'll keep you around as eye candy." His hand then begins to run down my side. Staring at my waist, he glides down to my skirt and around to my backside. I shiver as he does. I find myself repulsed, even though it's my body doing it. "Do you like it when a man touches you here?" I know I did when I was you. My mouth is dry, but I want to offer her the chance to do the right thing. At least that way, my conscience is clear. Jane," I say, recoiling as she holds her hand against me. "Trade us back, last chance." Jane laughs out loud, and as she does, takes her hand from my body. Continuing to find my words amusing, Jane waltzes around my old desk and sits in the chair like she's the king. "Last chance, is it?" Jane slaps the desk hard, not used to her new body. Hilarious. Still standing with my hands held behind my back, I show her that I'm not a threat. "Last chance," I repeat softly. "Oh, sweetheart." Jane laughs softly, wiping a single amused tear from her eye. "We aren't trading back. Are you going to behave, or should I fire you?" "You want me to stay as your secretary?" I ask. "Yes," she nods. "But I assumed you would. I bet you've already thought if you stay around me, you might get the chance to get your body back. I can assure you, Jane, you won't. Now, I'm very happy for you to stay around so I can watch all your male bravado slowly disappear as you adjust to being such a petite little girl. Still, the moment you step out of line, you're out. Do you understand?" "Fine," I say, lowering my head to appear as if I'm sad. "Good," Jane reacts with delight. "Now, Jane, if you wouldn't be such a doll, can you go fetch me, your boss, a coffee? I want a vanilla double-shot latte." Keeping up the appearance, I pretend to recoil at the notion of being asked to get my own secretary a coffee. Jane is really trying to drive home our role reversal. "Yes, boss," I say softly. As I turn, I can't stop myself from smirking. It's only a matter of time until the police come knocking. "I offered you the chance, Jane, and you didn't take it." Slowly and carefully, I walk to the office door. As I open it, Jane stops me. "Jane," she says, really hammering home that that's my new name. "I want to have sex with a woman tonight. Can you organize a membership for a gentleman's club for me this evening?" I stop for a moment, and her request is not something I should be doing. I'd never have asked for her to do anything like that. I err. "Something the matter?" No, sir, I smile. I'll arrange that for you. For what time? Around 8 tonight. Please also arrange my limo too. That's my limo, but I need not get too upset. Soon enough, she'll be pooping in front of her cellmates after the investigators find out what I've been doing. Yes, sir, I reply, swallowing down my pride. Good girl. Very good girl. By the end of the day, I'm somewhat getting used to walking in Jane's heels. I don't really do any actual work, not that I really know what to do as a secretary. Jane just asks me to constantly go and fetch her things. It must be a show of power for her that I'm not her employee and not the other way around. Good job today, young lady, Jane says, appearing from her office at the end of the day. She looks me in the eye with a smug grin on her face. I hope you enjoy my apartment. I left some information for you around the place. She then is about to head toward the building's elevators, but stops to look back at me. Oh, Jane, she says with a mischievous grin. I want you to wear a much shorter skirt tomorrow. I want to see those panties you've got on. Is that understood? I frown at the idea, but I nod in agreement. And like that, Jane disappears off with my body, leaving me with a mountain of things to file. By the time I'm finished, it's dark. I had to work out her filing system, which was annoying. Grabbing her coat and bag, clearly labeled for me, I snatch the letter she wrote for me and head for the city streets. I know she doesn't have a car. I'm certain Jane doesn't have a driver's license, so I guess technically I can't drive anyway. Standing at the entrance to the building, I take the letter from my purse and open it. It's a single A4 page with a single sentence written on it. I stole your life. You are now me. This is your new home and address. I take note of the address and open up the maps on the phone she's left for me. It's an older phone, complete with a lovely pink case. I guess at least it's fitting, but I can't help but think she's gone for the girliest thing she could to mock me. The subway is awful. I've never felt so uncomfortable on it. I could swear everyone was looking in my direction. I'm a grown man wearing heels and a skirt. Although, yes, I'm in Jane's body, I'm still hyper-aware of what I'm wearing. I take every sideways glance and longing stare as though I'm being called out for it. Eventually, I arrive at her neighborhood. It's a dive, but at least it isn't long before I approach her building. With the elevator broken in her apartment complex, I'm relegated to taking the stairs to the 6th floor in my heels. I get halfway up before taking them off. As I find the door to get place, I take the key from the purse she left me. On them is a note which reads, I hope you enjoy my place. Keep it clean like a good girl. I open the door, and it's a tiny studio apartment. It's no bigger than my walk-in wardrobe at home. As I shut the door, another note is suspended from the ceiling in front of me. I sigh, knowing she's probably left these all over the place. She's clearly been planning this for a while. The note reads, I bet you only made it to the 2nd floor before you took off my heels, didn't you, Mr. Johnson? I snatch the note and screw it up. Ha, I laugh out. I made it to the 3rd floor. Throwing the paper across the room, I step further inside and look at the full-length mirror in the entranceway. I stare into the pretty blue eyes of the woman I've become. I look at my long, lush black hair. I look at my supple and thick thighs. I look at my curves and my pretty little face. With one hand, I run fingers across the supple lips and down to my chin. I then take a second to appreciate the girls, hidden under the attire Jane decided to wear this morning. Turning sideways on, I then take in just how plump my rear is. I freak out a little as my brain can barely believe it. Refocusing on my face, I look at the worn-out girl staring back at me in the mirror. That girl is me. Then I see another note attached to the mirror. It simply reads, Well, hello, Miss Jane McCoy.